This is Abdulaziz Khan, and this is lecture number 18 for Basics of Microwave Propagation. So here we will try to understand the specular reflection with the help of a diagram, and we will see and we will try to correlate. I will not go in the path laws detail for the time being, but I have made some path laws videos already which you can refer, where I have talked about how this specular reflection can be seen on the path laws. But if you have seen those videos, and you can correlate some part of it, and I will try to give some I will try to mention some of those videos in the description of this video, but you can go through my videos and you can see that I have already discussed the specular reflection on path loss, but here we will try to see the background or the theory of that. So we have this beautiful video where some specular reflection is depicted through 2 or 3 things. First, we should understand that what is going on here. This is a side A, so side B, it's a normal microwave. And here also we will see, if you understand, normally when we talk, if we have a multi-path issue, then generally we try to mitigate it through the diversity link. So how that this diversity distance is calculated and how we use it, this is what we will try to learn. So for example, this is our site A, this is the main and this is the diversity antenna. Similarly, side B has also a main and a diversity. To understand, we are just assuming one side transmission. This antenna is transmitting, and this is the main incident, main to main. This is where we generally pan our antennas as well, and this is main to diversity, and this is the reflection. Reflection can also go to main or diversity depending upon the incident angle. So as we know that the increasing value of k, because it turns the wave upside basically, and the decreasing value of k tends to turn the wave downside. So we pan this on the normal value of k, which remains for the most of the time, and we have an idea that when the k will go down, when k will decrease, then this main will come in line with the diversity dish. Similarly, if k increases, then what will happen, that your reflection may start be receiving on this main dish. But this is only for the understanding of it. So if you remember in path loss, when we go and do the specular reflection, and when we do the ray trace, then we see this kind of picture, where the main and diversity, we plot the main and diversity, main to main and main to diversity and diversity to main and diversity to diversity from site A to site B. So from site B to site A, for example, we calculate here from main to main and from main to diversity. So in this area, we have this main path and we have this diversity paths. So for example, here we can see that the fading is not correlative, because on the points where diversity is not receiving anything, so on the same points, the main is receiving some signal. So that's how the main is always getting some value. And at k is equal to 4/3, we see that the main is getting a very high or very significant level of the signal. But if we go to the k is equal to infinity part, here we can see that there is some place where the main and the diversity both are getting a correlated fade. So this is the outage path. Here our k value is increasing. So at this point, we see that the k has such a value that we have a correlative fading. So we should see that what kind of value it is, and it will remain for how much time, because in path loss we have these charts available where you can understand that for how much time value of k can remain. Generally the normal k value is 4/3, but for example, if this value will remain for 0.1% of the year, then path loss will tell you that based on that how much should be your total unavailability, where your main and diversity both will be in fade for some time. But it is generally very less time, and it may or may not happen always, because these are approximations. These a lot depends a lot on the weather and other a lot of things. So this value may never be achieved, even though past laws give you an approximate that for in a typical year for how much time it may come, but that is again an approximate value. That time may come or may not come because of any reason, but we will try to avoid this kind of behavior in vicinity of k is equal to 4 by 3, because this is the part where your link will remain most of the time. So if you have some this kind of niche in this area, then it can give a very bad impression to your link. If it is on a very high value of k, then it is not very much significant. So now if you have been seeing those videos, you will see that what we will try to do is that we try to avoid that the main and diversity should have a null at the same time, at least in the lower values of k, because normally k remain in the lower value. And also here you will see that how we try to find this difference, I mean the height between the difference of height between main and diversity. Generally what we do is that the main should be put on the peak and the diversity should be put on a trough, so that when main is getting the high value, the diversity may not be getting the high value, so that this gets the most of the signal, and you don't have any issue. I mean, you don't have to do any cancelling or anything, because if this is also receiving something, then your radio has to do some kind of cancelling and adjustment of the signals. So we try to keep them in an on-off position. For example, when the main is receiving, the diversity should not, and when the diversity is receiving, then main should not receive. But this is how we try to plan. I mean, it is not 100% in that thing, but we try to keep it that way. So I hope that you should be able to understand this picture. And as I told you that I have already some videos where I have talked about this part of the picture, where we use path laws for calculating the specular reflection, and we use the ray tracing and these kind of some tools within path laws, and they give us similar to this picture. They give us the same kind of diagram, and we can adjust our main and diversity heights so that we get something which is similar to this, I mean, which has all of their values in a non-correlative fading area and almost no value in correlative fading area. So I hope you will like it. I hope you understand that how a specular reflection is calculated. As I have already made videos in path law, so I will not go in that detail. But if required, if someone asks any question, I can make newer video for him also. If you have still any ambiguity in your mind, then do comment, do let me know. See you in my next video. Good.